Hello! Hello. We're here to talk about another scope film. Pull up the right thing. This one. With its new art. The 5 Venoms. We're talking about the other one. Next week! That's that. Right. Let me pull up. This is the 5 Venoms. Got in this handy dandy book, which comes with the films. You can buy this. I don't own this. You're a big martial arts fan? I seriously. This is such a good set. I'm just like, you gotta own it. There isn't even sponsorship paint. It's just like, this is a fucking good set. Alright, we got an official synopsis right here, and it is a long boy. Let me read this, and then we'll talk a bit more about the film. Right, the School of the 5 Venoms is notorious among martial artists for the evil deeds of its disciples. The master of the school, Huang Yen, has retired from martial arts world for years. Before he dies, he feels so guilty about all the evils associated with the name of the school that he ordered his young disciple Yang Ti to go and stop the other disciples from carrying on with their wicked ways, eliminating them if necessary. There are 5 disciples of the 5 Venoms active in the martial arts world, each with its own excelling in a special kind of kung fu named after a venomous animal. The 5 disciples are Tang, who represents the centipede. Alright, this is the next one. It's like, I was going to read it as Hung, but is it Hung or H-U-N-G? H-U-N-G? Hung? It just sounds weird because I want to say it's like like he's hung the snake. Fuck it, it is that. Hung the snake. Okay, we're just gonna skip over him. Ma, the scorpion. He, the lizard. And Li, the toad. These 5 disciples from the same school never show their real identities, and they do not know each other. They do not all know each other. Basically, some of them were early students, some of them were like, they don't know the later students, things like that. And Yang Di, whose mission is to first of all find the 5 of them, has never met them or known their real name. Yang Di, sorry, it's really hard to keep track of where I am on this. Yang Di was told by the master before his death that he could find these other 5 disciples through Yung, a former classmate at the of the master, who is hoarding some treasure that belonged to the school, and and the master predicted that these 5 disciples would go after Young and the treasure. 2 of the disciples, Ma and He, have become constables, and among disciple Hong is a rich celebrity in town. Hong joins the first disciple, Tang, in forcing Yung to hand over the the treasures. While Yung refuses to do so, they kill him and his whole family. That is like a fuck ton of people they do kill. It's just like insane. When Mai arrives at scene, he accidentally finds the map which shows where the treasure is hidden. When Yang Ti arrives in town, he picks up clues suggesting that Tang might be the killer of Young's case, and reports it to He at the Yamen. Yeah. With the help of Mai's friend Li, the 2 constables, Ma and He, arrest Tang. Though their kung fu styles, Yang recognizes Tang as the first disciple, the centipede, and Li, the 5th disciple, the toad. The toad is the best character. I will have no questions on that. Toad is best character. I don't know. He's like really charming. He's kind of badass. He's just like, yeah, doesn't have any sleeves or anything. He's just a badass. I like that character. Mai is actually in league with Hong and Tang to rob Yun of the hidden treasure. So, Mai and Hong bribe the judge and the trial for Tang to put off. Meanwhile, they try to frame Lee up as the real murderer. Lee resists when Ma tries to arrest him, so that Ma has to use his secret weapon, the scorpion darts, thus exposing his identity as the third disciple of the School of the Five Venoms. The observant Yang Di by this time realizes that Tang, Hong, Mai, he, and Li are the other 5 disciples he is looking for. Since Li is dead, and he is the only righteous one among the 4 left, Yang teams up with He and eventually gets rid of Tang, Hong, and Mai, thereby accomplishing his mission. Oh, the main character, he's kind of set up as a main character, and then kind of is not there for most of the plot, and then goes up like quite near the end. He's just kind of like occasionally just going to appear around corners, going. Okay. Like he's just always like appearing around corners and stuff. It's just it's one of those weird things. You're just like, that's just a bit weird. But yeah. Anyway, that's a bit weird. I do like. Again, I'm gonna say the Toad is the best one. He just gives the appearance of like a real badass. I just like the character a lot. This one was a good one. Like, it was a lot of kind of intrigue, and you don't really know who's who. Like, at least early on, and then it's like, and it keeps saying like, and then it's like this, and it's like that, and it's like this, and like that. Yeah, it's just like that. Fuck's sake. This is this intrigue of like who's who, what's going on. Okay, they're gonna team up with this guy, and you kind of don't really know where it's gonna go for quite a bit. It's definitely a fun one. It's, sometimes with these ones, I said it before, where they're like the more kind of historical, but you know, not quite. It's just you don't quite know where they're going. This one I was perfectly fine with. I loved it. I enjoyed it all the way through. I didn't really have too many problems with it, other than the fact they did kill Toad quite early on, which pissed me off. I'm just gonna say that is my main problem with it. I just like the fact they killed Toad. Toad is the best character, honestly. Like, I'm gonna say this. As with all these films, I've always watched it with in Mandarin, subtitles on, just because I think that's you'll probably get it more accurate. I don't know if I assume the subtitles on these box sets, which I think they are, they're based on the Mandarin dub rather than. I don't know how much they change in basically the English dub, but yeah. Always watch it with that. I might watch them again at some point with an English dub just to see how bad it is. Because yeah, it's from the 70s, so I doubt they're very good. I've heard some of them, mostly, you know, as it says here, like the sample of Wu-Tang Clan songs. I'm like, yeah, no, I've definitely heard quite a few of them in Wu-Tang songs before. Just like, ooh, that's bad. That don't sound good at all. But yeah, it's a good one. You got a whole bunch of characters, and it somehow manages to quite well balance them out, which is kind of impressive. Again, I would like the main, like, I don't know. You kind of have your main character. I feel like if you're making this today, you'd give like the main kid, you'd give him like a animal at the end, like give him his own animal. I don't know. It's just one of those things. It's like the 5 Venoms, so it's like it'd be nice if he's like, hey, he's the final, yeah. And also him being, I guess, better as a martial artist. He's generally like kind of hiding a lot and just not really doing much for the plot. But yeah, some many problems. Overall, it's a great film. I definitely would watch this if you haven't heard all of my spoilers. But yeah, that was that. Do I have any alternate titles? We do. Okay, it's got the Mandarin and Cantonese versions, and there's Shaolin Deadly Poisons. So yeah, this kind of makes sense. The 5 Deadly Venoms, as opposed to those Venoms that aren't deadly. I guess there are non-deadly venoms. Ones that just sting a little bit, but you know, why would you watch a film about some these 5 slightly stingy venoms? Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. The next film we're going to be talking about is Crippled Avengers, which does have an alternate title of Handicapped Avengers. It also has an alternate title of Mortal Kombat. So yeah, interesting. But yeah, now I'm going to say, live long and prosper, and we'll see you next time for Crippled Avengers. Bye.